Broadcast includes affiliate partnerships. When you shop using the links or promo codes we share, FSEN may receive a commission at no additional cost to you. We only partner with brands and services we believe bring real value to our audience, but any purchase decisions are entirely up to you. Your support through our affiliate partners helps fund our coverage of high school sports, student athletes, and local communities. To learn more or support FSEN, visit the link or code shown on your screen.
The reproduction of this content is not allowed without the express written consent of EBH Fitness, LLC.
From the desert to the state line, this is Borderland Sports Report. Yeah. Woo. Lights on the field, Friday night air, sweat in the grind, dreams everywhere, from the court to the turf, every rep, every play, Borderland built, we earn our way, no shortcuts, no hype, just truth and respect, local roots, real stories, what you don't expect, if it matters in the Borderland, we on that beat, voices of the game, hear the street speak.
This is the Post, this is the zone,
Borderland Sports Report.
welcome home.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Borderland Sports Report. We got a special edition here on this Saturday. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I'm blessed with what I like to call the voice of basketball here in the Borderland. I got Mr. Michael Parker and Mr. Johnny Martinez. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining me today.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
Good to be here to talk some hoops.
Yes, definitely, and that's exactly what we want to do. Wanted to do something a little different than in years past. We kind of wanted to set the table, I guess, as we get ready for district play and kind of make our predictions on who we think will have some success in district play and who won't, because, I mean, some districts have started, but, I mean, we're in the heart of district play now, rivalries and everything, and so let's jump right into it. Let's start from the bottom and just kind of work our way up, and we'll start on the, you guys want to start girls or boys?
Up to you, Steve. You put your calls
Ladies
up.
first.
Yeah, let's start on the girls' side. So, a district that I think gets overlooked is 4-3A, where we got Anthony and Tornillo. They are part of what we follow here in the Borderland, and so kind of looking at that district. Then a district with Alpine, Presidio, Kermit, Tornillo, and Anthony. I'll be honest, man, they took during the regular season, like all those teams took beatings across the board. They took beatings from everybody. I think Alpine's 5-12. Everybody else has got 3 wins, whether it be 10, 13, 14 losses, and then Anthony's 0-19.
It's tough for the lower divisions because they're usually typically playing up to the 5 or 6As.
You'll probably have to get a little bit closer to that, Mike.
Yeah, they're usually playing up to the 5 or 6As, surrounding them.
Yeah.
And so obviously the schedule is harder, but it helps sharpen iron for when they're playing in district play.
Yeah. And, I mean, historically, the Alpine and Presidio has always won that district. I think I'm going to go with Alpine just off of historical records. I mean, like, it's hard to, based off these records, to look at it and be like, oh, this team, I'm going to say Alpine. It's either going to be them or Presidio, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the main thing to look at when teams are struggling as a whole, as a district, is just trying to look at common opponents, trying to look at, how competitive those teams are being. So I do agree it's tough. I kind of lean Presidio a little bit in that district, but I do think it's going to be a 2-man race there.
Yeah. Got nothing?
No.
He said, I ain't got no dog in that fight. Now let me move up to 1-4A girls. That district is Irving, Young Women's STEM, Harmony Science Academy, Austin, and Bowie. I got to tell you, I've seen a lot of progress from that Irving team and the Young Women's STEM. I think those are 2 teams that I don't know if it's they've come a long way, and before we even start talking, I want to definitely give shout outs and to those coaching staffs for what they've done in those programs for sure. I've seen Irving play. I've seen the young women play. I think I have a feeling that them and Irving are going to split this year, and I think I'm going young women. I'm going to go with young women.
Yeah, I think that's a good point. I've only seen Young Women's Academy out of those teams play. But yeah, I do think a lot of improvement over the past few years compared to where they were at. Yeah, so I kind of lean them as well. But again, it's tough to get a gauge just based on some of the matchups we've seen prior. So
Yeah, I was fortunate enough to see young women also. They look like they have a little bit more fight than the rest of the division. I think I'll stick with them as well.
Okay. Then we get into 2-4A where you got Mountain View, Clint, Riverside, Fabian, San Elizario, and Isleta. Now, historically, this has been either Riverside, Mountain View. Some years it's been Sinelli. Some years it's been Clint. Those four teams there have really been the cream of the crop, I guess you could say, in that district. It's a down year for Sinelli. It's a down year for Riverside.
yeah, Riverside lost a lot. They had I think 5 or 6 seniors. All of those key contributors lost all their starters from last year.
Yeah.
Really good squad the past few years. So they're just trying to kind of retool and rebuild. A lot of the things that Riverside had present, like the fundamentals, the fight, it's there. It's just, having that youth catch up to what coach is trying to do over there. We'll see how they're able to kind of muddle through district. I know they've kind of struggled with some of the 5 and 6As, but it's going to be interesting. And same thing with Mountain View. They had a good group of seniors last year as well.
But you know what I'll say about that Mountain View program, though, is they reload, man.
Yeah.
They don't rebuild, they reload.
Yeah.
I do got to give it to them. Nice facilities out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely a nice community. But yeah, I think that district as a whole, this is kind of like a rebuilding year for that whole district, for everybody.
Yeah.
But
Isleta, another well-coached team that, also retooling. They had some seniors from last year.
Yeah.
So it's really going to be a toss-up. I kind of lean Mountain View out of that group.
Yeah.
But wouldn't be surprised if Riverside and Isleta have a say in that just off of the coaching that they have.
Yeah, and, I think it may. My gut tells me Mountain View. It's I don't know if it's because I'm hungry right now or what, but I do agree with you, Mountain View. But you really can't count out the Clints, the San Elizarios, because those coaches are going to get as much out of their players as they possibly can. They're gonna maximize that roster. But I think in the end it'll be Mountain View.
I think it's going to be kind of competitive. I was able to see Clint twice. They're very competitive. I think they can compete with Mountain View. I think it's just a matter of who brings their game, once the tournament actually starts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Then we get to the fun part, right? Probably one of the, in years past, I would say probably the most competitive district here in 1-5A. But I think this year 2-5A and 1-6A have a say-so in that. But 1-5A where you got Burgess, Kankakee, Jefferson, Andress, Chapin, El Paso High. For years this has been really Burgess's district to lose, right? Coach Hernandez has done a great job there in building a program. But I do think that there's a lot of surprises thus far in the early part of the season, right? Like the school that we go and stream every game for, Canyon Teal, was not expecting them to have the season that they're having this year. So thus far, I'll be the first to admit that. I think they're going to have a say-so in the outcome of that district. Chapin's going to have a say-so in the outcome of that district. I think they just got to get it together, right?
Yeah.
They have a lot of talent on that roster.
Yeah.
I think they just got to figure out how to play together.
Chapin. Yeah.
I think they just got to figure out how to play together. Andrews is another one of those teams that on any given night
Can be a problem.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say Burgess. I'm gonna go with I'm gonna say Burgess is gonna win that district. It's gonna be
Yeah.
close though.
Yeah, I think that district's gonna be very competitive. I mean, last year it was pretty competitive. It was Burgess kind of the cream of the crop, but below that it was competitive. We had kind of the upset Chapin that kind of threw the district into some flux. But I think this year it's going to be a little bit more balanced out. But I'm going to go with Burgess as well. I think that they're just a little bit better than some of the other teams.
Your sister gonna kill you. I just want you to know that.
They've got talent coming back from last year. They had some youth that's likely going to step up. I think they're the best team in the district by a decent margin. Not in years past as much, so I wouldn't be surprised if Chapin or Ganotio knocks them off maybe once.
Oh yeah, they're gonna get clipped.
But yeah, I'm gonna go with Burgess, and then I'm gonna go Chapin second. I think Chapin's got a little bit more talent than Ganotio. They're well coached, and all of these teams are well coached, but Chapin's well coached. They've got a little bit more talent coming back. You got Lewis, Mora, Wise, that three that I think they're going to finish second, and then I've got Ganotio third.
Yeah, and you know what's funny, right? There isn't an easy win in that district.
Absolutely.
Years past, Jefferson was an easy win. It's not an easy win in that district anymore. It's going to be a dogfight.
Yeah, and you've got El Paso and Andrews that are there as well. I think Andrews will round out the district at fourth. They've got star power, a couple players there. I just think that they don't have as much balance as the other three ahead of them. But they can definitely, that star power can carry them to a victory over, the Chapin or Ganotio. So it'll definitely be interesting to see how it pans out. But I think it's going to be a very competitive district.
Yeah.
I'm going to lean in. I'm going to go with Chapin. I think Chapin's a wild card in that district. I think they have the talent to compete.
They do.
It's just a matter of what they do the game day, which team is going to show up. I think they can pull it off.
I like that. Chapin's definitely capable of pulling that off.
And I sit there and I look at this district and I'm like, Burgess could win it. Chapin could win it. Canyon Teal could win. I think that the winner of this district is going to be 7-3.
Yeah, that's certainly possible. Yeah, Ganotio I think is a live dog as well. I just personally think it's a tough matchup against Burgess for them.
Yeah,
I think they match up pretty solid against Chapin, so I wouldn't be surprised if they clip Chapin. I think Burgess is going to be a struggle for them, but Chapin matches up well against Burgess, so it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, this district is one of those districts where I say it comes down to guard play for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm going against Ganotio, because I think the questions about their guard play sometimes, or the lack of, become a problem for them.
Yeah, I agree.
Less clutter, more clarity. This is Distill Union, where smart design meets real life. From wallets that snap shut just right, to eyewear that's built to last, every detail is made to simplify your day. No flash, no fuss. Just clean lines, clever function, and modern style that moves with you. Distill Union, smart by design. Simplify your everyday. Use promo code FSEN and receive 20% off your entire order.
Introducing Kensho Cocktails, crafted by RSRV Collective, where sophistication meets self-discovery. These non-alcoholic, ready-to-drink cocktails deliver bold, complex flavors, the art of mixology without the effects of alcohol. Whether you're celebrating after the game or winding down after the grind, Kensho brings the flavor, the vibe, and the balance you deserve. Order yours now at rsrvcollective.com, and don't forget to use promo code FSEN for 30% off your order. Kensho Cocktails. Discover your moment.
Protein, coffee, nootropics, and adaptogens. My morning routine looked just like this. Now, it looks something like this. All of those incredible ingredients that help you recover, give you the energy and the focus, and fight stress. Each scoop of our latte is balanced with 15 grams of grass-fed protein, 5 grams MCTs, organic coffee, it's lactose-free, and gluten-free. We all know that we need the best of our morning, and the best way to start our day is right here with strong coffee.
Let me get into 2.5A, which has really been a surprise for me in some aspects, and I'll get to why. But you got Hanks, Americas, Parkland, Bel Air, Horizon, and El Dorado. Man, I gotta tell you, I've been saying this for 3 years now. They finally have started to play. Hanks has a really good team.
Yeah, we saw them play against kind of the other guard play is elite. They've always had really talented teams the last 4 years.
Yep.
I'd say it seems like they're putting it together this year.
Yep.
But the guard play is elite. They just lack a little bit of size.
Yeah.
But their guard play is probably going to be miles above everyone other than Americas.
And that's going to help them, as you talk about Americas. So Americas is a typical El Paso team where they use defense to generate offense, right? So they try to force they put a lot of pressure on the ball to try to force players that aren't used to having the ball make decisions, which causes a lot of turnovers and in return gives them easy buckets, right? I think Hanks is one of those teams that can handle that pressure. But I'm going to tell you the surprise of the district has been Parkland. Parkland is 15-4. Who saw that coming?
Yeah, much improved from last year.
Who saw that coming? Now, how that translates into district play is going to be very interesting. But guys, I didn't see that coming.
Yeah, I didn't either. I think for me the top three is obvious. Even with Parkland's start, I think probably Bel Air is right after Hanks, the third spot. They've got really talented players.
Yes.
They just lack depth.
Yep.
So we'll see how that comes into play. Because their five is as solid as anyone's. They just don't have much depth beyond that. So we'll see. But, yeah, Parkland has been great so far this year. Regardless of schedule, they're playing who they're
they're playing who's on the schedule.
Yeah, and they're finding a way to get wins. So
play the games that's in front of you. But I think at the end of the day, as much as I think America's wins.
Yeah,
like their guard play is by far. Now I will say this: if someone can figure out locally, how to make them a perimeter shooting team, America's is in trouble.
Yeah, it's tough because I think their three-point shooting they're a streaky shooting team.
Yes.
So you could kind of play into that, and then they'll still kill you. But if you do catch them on an off game, I do think that is the route. I've seen them play a couple times, and whenever they struggle, it's because they couldn't get it to fall from the outside. But I still think anything, regardless of that, they may get clipped by Hanks. Hanks certainly has the talent to be competitive, but I don't know if Bel Air or Hanks can pull off.
I don't think anyone in this district is going to be able to handle the amount of pressure that America's guards put on the ball. And it's not pressure. It's constant pressure from the tip, and it all comes from the coach. It starts right there. I mean, she's intense on the sideline. Coach King is intense on the sideline, and it translates into her players, and her guards are. Sometimes I'm like, man, she's crazy, and they're psycho. But they're psycho in a good way, right? Because they don't care about how it looks. They care about the results.
And even to complement the pressure, you have Madonna and Brooks that are constantly on the ball.
Oh my
and then you have Marcus ball hawking all the time. I mean, she gets a ton of steals. She was in the showcase, was one of the best players, stood out. And she just gets a ton of steals because of that guards, Madonna and Brooks pushing up, and she's just ball hawking.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think anyone clips them. I think Belair and Hanks have the tools to be competitive. But I think Americas is going to run away with this district, just like they have been.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I agree. I think we might all be unanimous on that one. Then we got 1-6A. It's like the boogeyman district, man. I'm telling you, there is a, and it's 6A, right? It's supposed to be, but there's a lot of talented guards in this district. Starting with Montwood, Franklin, Eastwood, Pebble Hills, Eastlake, Socorro, Coronado. I think
that's that Americas isn't in this district anymore.
Yes.
Imagine if that was the case. Still.
Yes. And I'm sure that a lot of them are happy.
Yeah.
Right? But, like, those first three teams, Montwood, Franklin, Eastwood, and then to some extent Eastlake.
Eastlake, too. Yeah.
Are very, very, very talented teams. We'll see if Eastlake gets it together this year in district play. They had a good start last year. They got a district play, and the wheels came off, right? But, dude, Montwood's guards are Montwood may have arguably the best trio of guards in the city.
Yeah, I think Montwood's the most talented team in the city, and there's a good cushion. And there's a lot of good teams in El Paso, but Montwood's extremely talented.
But here's the crazy thing, right? I don't mean to cut you off. As talented as their guards are, they couldn't overcome the pressure America's put on.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's the big thing is Montwood going to be able to handle those big moments and not kill themselves.
Yes.
Right, and that's been the problem with them over the past couple of years. And I think this group of players, they're very talented, but anytime they've lost games, it's kind of been the ball in their hands, and they've lost it on
the moment's
on
been too big
accord.
for them.
Yeah, I think they're more talented than Americas. They've got more upside.
Yeah.
But they don't always play to that upside. I think their floor is lower than America's, and you see that floor a lot. So we'll see how that plays out, especially against well-coached teams like Eastwood and Franklin. So.
Martinwood's guards, they only got one senior in the guard.
No. The whole backcourt is
The whole backcourt
seniors.
seniors. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But they've been together
Pretty much
for
that whole team.
Yeah.
That whole five they're all seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's gonna. I don't know how big a drop off is gonna be next year, but the cover is gonna be. They're gonna have to refilling the covers for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, their starting five, they're all seniors, and they got pretty good size. That's why I say they're upside. They can win some games out of town because they've got size on that team.
Yeah.
Their guards are not small.
And then the I think, and you seen it yesterday, right? I think the what am I looking for? The team that could just blow this whole district up is Franklin. Franklin's like the wild card, right? Because if you get the good Franklin team, they're very, very hard to beat. But does that good Franklin team show up every night when it comes to district play?
Yeah, I mean, last year I think we thought that they were going to be, have a little more to say in the district than they did, and there was just a lot of inconsistency from Franklin last year. And this year, I mean, they started off with a bang.
Started off hot
with a big win over Eastwood, and very with a lot of conviction that victory came. Yeah, I think their ceiling is pretty close to Montwood's, but can they remain consistent is going to be the question. They've got star power as well, so.
I think the piece of that team that if they can figure it out over these next couple of weeks is what is her name? The big tall girl. Wakefield.
Yeah.
Winfield.
Kyla Winfield.
Winfield.
Kyla Winfield.
If she can get it together, like there's no one can keep her off the glass.
Yeah. She was also in that All-Star game that we had, and she was a force on the boards, getting lots of steals.
Can't finish.
Yeah.
If she can finish, she's gonna be a problem. Like she could be the piece that takes that Franklin team over the top.
Mm-hmm.
But then dude, I look at Eastlake, and I don't understand. That team's got a lot. They got size. They've got guard play.
Yeah, I know last year they were dealing with some injuries into district play. They one of their top guards tore her ACL over the offseason, so they don't have her. But they still have a very talented team.
Yes.
They've got...
You got 2 6-footers.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got a lot of size, and then they've got 2 really good guards that have been multiple-year varsity players. So, it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out and if they have a better district play than last year.
Yeah.
But I think they'll make the playoffs this year. We'll see if they can clip the Eastwoods of the world. I think it's going to be a tough ask to beat Montwood and Franklin, but we've seen the floors of those teams that it's certainly possible that Eastlake can beat one of those if you don't get their best.
Yeah.
So I personally think Montwood's going to win it, but I think Franklin's going to be right there. And then I think Eastwood will figure it out. I think they'll assert themselves into that 3 spot, and then I think we round it out with Eastlake. That's my assessment.
Yeah, I think Montwood wins the district. I think it's their district to lose. But I will say this. Eastwood is scary because of one piece. They're like America's, right, in that they hang their existence on the defensive side. Like they put tons and tons of pressure on the ball as well.
Coached also.
Yeah. Yeah. And so they could be a big player in finishing out that district, but I think if Montwood comes to play every night, they're going to be a hard out.
Yeah.
That's going to be a hard team to beat. Cuz they literally can take it off the glass, and either one of those guards can start that break. Either one of those guards can fill the lane. Either one of those guards can shoot the 3. Either one of those guards can take it to the basket. And so it doesn't matter who gets the ball to start it. They can go.
Yeah, they've got four that can push it. And then Hernandez is going to be running the floor pretty well. So, yeah, they're a very dangerous team. Like I said, they have upside to win out of town just because they have size. Their guards are big. So a lot of times El Paso teams go out of town and size is an issue. I don't think that's the case with Montwood or Franklin for that matter.
Yeah.
So, I agree. I think it's Montwood's district to lose, but Franklin might have a say there.
The only caveat I will say to this, I'm making Montwood beat me from the outside.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to beat me from the outside. I'm not letting you get in the paint.
It's tough to do, but
no.
Yeah, and the problem is with that is that they can shoot too.
But you got to be able to do that.
They can choose.
You've got to be able to do it playing man to man.
Yeah.
You can't do it playing zone. They'll kill a zone.
Yeah.
You've got to be able to make them beat you from the outside playing man to man.
Yeah. And don't sleep on Eastwood either. I mean, like we talked about them being well coached. They've got arguably the best player in the district. You can have that discussion with Ortega. Had a rough game yesterday, but I think she'll bounce back. I think she's the reigning offensive MVP. So, Yeah, I think Eastwood. I wouldn't be surprised if they clip one of those two. They already lost to Franklin, but wouldn't be surprised if they bounce back in the next one or give Mountainwood some trouble too.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting.
You got nothing, sir?
I think I'm going to have to go with Franklin.
That's not a bad pick. It's not.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with Franklin. I think that they'll find a way to match Mountainwood's energy level. If they can do exactly what you said and cause them to be a perimeter shooting team, I think that gives them more of a chance to win.
Yeah. No, I don't disagree. Well, folks, that's going to wrap up our breakdown of the girls' basketball and our district predictions. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with the boys.
Tired of socks that slip, bunch, or vanish inside your shoes? Meet S-Sock, the no-show socks that actually stay put. Designed in New York, crafted for your every move, our patented 3D tailoring and breathable fabrics feel like a second skin, never letting you down. IS, from morning commutes to late night plans, S-Sock brings you comfort without effort. Invisible where you don't want to be seen. Reliable where you need to be. S-Sock, the only no-show socks you'll need. Grab yours now at essock.shop. Use promo code FSEN and get 20% off your order.
Late night? Big day ahead? More Labs has your back with science-backed formulas that help you stay sharp, recover faster, and keep your edge. Whether it's morning recovery after a long night, liquid focus to lock in at work, or dream well to reset for tomorrow, every product is powered by real ingredients and real results. Visit morelabs.com and use promo code FSEN to get 25% off your entire order. More Labs. Live smarter. Do more.
Cozy Earth redefines luxury sleep with its best-selling bamboo sheet set, made from 100% premium viscose from bamboo. Their pajama set brings a touch of elegance to relaxation, combining style and supreme comfort for nights in. Use promo code FSEN and receive 41% off your entire order.
All right, folks, we are back. We're going to jump into the boys' side. I tell you, it's been an interesting season thus far. Excuse me. It's been a very interesting season thus far. Just like the girls, we're going to start at 3A and work our way up. So for 3A, got Presidio, Alpine, Kermit, Tornillo, Anthony. This is going to be very quick. I am going to just go. I'm going to say Presidio wins the district.
Haven't seen a lot of that district play, to be completely honest with you. I've seen Presidio play, and I know that they're bringing a lot back from last year. That's why I saw them play. I think their guard play is pretty solid. So I think they'll take that district again.
I'm going to concur.
All right, now we jump into 1-4A, where you got Harmony Science Academy, Austin, Irving, Bowie. I'm going to let you start on this one, man.
I think I think it's Bowie's district to lose, but Austin will be right there. I think Austin will be right there. It's going to be those two. I think Bowie lost some of their guard play from last year, but they got Camacho coming back. I think he's regarded as one of the best players in the city. I don't really think anyone in that district can stop him.
Yeah.
So, but Austin on the other side, they've got some pretty good guard play. They've got their offensive MVP from the district coming back, and Andujo is a multi-sport athlete receiver as well. He's a good guard, but I think that Camacho is just going to be too much for her.
Yeah.
And they're well coached. I think Tootie out there and at Bowie's has them well coached.
Bowie, okay.
I'd probably go Austin second, and then after that, probably Harmony third, and
it's hard when you look at these 4A districts. Kind of what you said, they have to play these 5A, 6A schools, and so they don't have. It's not a evenly matched game in most instances, and so. But now, you know what? I'm gonna have to agree with you, man. I'm gonna have to agree with you. I think Camacho is going to be a problem.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, we see him do it against 5 and 6As.
Yeah.
And then that's what, once he gets to district, he's averaging 20 plus.
yeah.
Right, but he'll still give you 18 if you're a 5 or 6A. So
Yeah, he's a big boy.
yeah.
UTEP got them a steal
Still, yep.
there at tight end for sure. So what you thinking? You agreeing?
I'm going with Bowie as well. I don't really. It could be a pick 'em. It depends. But Bowie has more of a chance to come out of the division than anybody else.
Then we get into 2-4A, where you got Mountain View, Clint, Fabens, Isleta, San Elizario, and Riverside. Now, in the past, you would have, like, Riverside up there. You would have Isleta up there. This year's been, Mountain View continues to consistently put out a very decent boys program. I'm going Mountain View. I'm going to go with Mountain View on this one.
Yeah, it's a tough district to assess here. The kind of similar conversation from the girls and some of the other district for the boys. Teams are struggling with a tough schedule. I've seen Mountain View play. They play hard. I think they're pretty well coached. Their coach has a lot of passion. I think you see that from how the boys play. Isleta's had some interesting results. I haven't seen them play in person, but they've had some results where they've been competitive against teams that I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to lean. This is a tough one. I'm going to lean Isleta on that district. I think they're well coached, but I think it's going to be a race between them and Mountain View.
I think Mountain View's experience is going to come into play. Their guard play is pretty good. I don't think Isleta can match them. So I'm going to go with.
They lost a lot.
They lost a lot. I think I'm going to go with Mountain View.
They lost a lot. They lost with 20 a game easily. Then we get into 1-5A with the Now, I think this is going to be where the contention is going to be. Then it's 1-5A. You got El Paso, Chapin, Andress, Burgess, Canutillo, and Jefferson.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to be honest with you. I said this going into the season, and I will continue to say this. This isn't the same Chapin team. When you no longer can funnel everything to the middle to 7 feet, it changes a lot, right? Your guard play, the amount of pressure that you could put on the ball on the perimeter decreases substantially because you don't have anybody in there that can make up for that mistake, right? Mm-hmm. And they've shown that they're vulnerable to getting. I think they've lost 2 games now, the El Paso teams, after they won their 100th one.
Yeah.
And
Coronado and Eastlake.
Yeah, Coronado and East, but those were 6A schools, right? Mm-hmm. I gotta tell you, when you had this conversation this summer, right? Mm-hmm. And I think we both kind of leaned this way. Like we felt like this was probably Andress. If Andress was gonna win, this was the year for them to be able to do it, right? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Andress has been hot and cold. They've been up and down. I still feel like they have the best chance to win the district, but I have a feeling that them and Chapin are gonna split. Right? I don't think that one's gonna beat the other twice. I think that Burgess is gonna pull some upsets. I think that El Paso is gonna pull off some upsets.
Really?
Yes. Like, dude, El Paso can shoot the ball.
They can.
They can shoot the ball. And when you can,
it's a recipe for upsets.
When you can get hot and knock down threes, you can beat some teams that you shouldn't have beaten.
Yeah, that's what happened with him last year.
Yeah. and they could get hot against Chapin or Andrews, and it's over.
They
right?
beat Andrews last year. They were going into the fourth, up 1 on Chapin.
Yeah.
So,
and then if Canyon Teal can actually get their act together, they could pull off an upset. Like, there's a couple of teams in here that could pull off an upset if they played. But I still think that Andrus, Chapin, and El Paso High are the 3 teams that everybody's trying to leapfrog, right? I'm gonna say Andrus wins the district, man. I'm gonna say Andrus wins the district, and it's not going and it's not gonna be them running away with it either.
No, it's gonna be.
It's gonna come down to probably the last day.
Yeah. Yeah, this district I have a really good feel for. I think if you would have asked me at the beginning of the season, it would have been Andrus. That would have been my answer. I think on paper, they have a really balanced team. They have potential mismatches for Chapin and Theo and pretty much every team in the district. I think Chapin's going to win the district again. I think that they're going to figure out how to game plan around Carmine and TJ. And I think Andrus lacks some shooting. That's going to catch up to them. And I think Chapin's guard play is a lot better than Andrus's.
You know what I think the X factor is in that game, though, is? It's Williams from Andrus.
Yeah.
Like, I've gone on record of saying this. Potential-wise, today, I'm talking today right now, I think that kid has a high ceiling.
Yeah. I mean, he moves like he's 5'10", but he's 6'5".
He has a high ceiling, and I think he's one of those players that could take over one of those games and give them the opportunity to win it. Because you're right, teams are going to lock in on Carmine. They're going to lock in on TJ. I think he gives them that one piece because he's probably one of the most athletic wings in the city. Yeah. Let's just be real about it. Like, he can shoot the ball, he can put it on the floor, and he can finish at the cup. I don't think he gets enough touches. That's just me.
I know he's dealt with a lot of injuries last year that he was in and out of the lineup because of that. That made it hard to just kind of for him to get a flow. Yeah, it's tough because I think this district as a whole, aside from Burgess, I think Burgess is playing well and they've had some good results against teams that maybe we weren't expecting.
I think they're playing beyond.
Right, exactly. Yeah. I think everyone else, if you were to ask them, would not be happy with how they're playing up to this point.
Yeah.
I mean, Andrus included, Chapin included. They've struggled a bit in spots that, like, I think we were all a little bit surprised by that Coronado result. Not the Eastlake result, but that Coronado result. And then, Chapin responded well against a pretty solid Cathedral team. They're not scrubs.
No, they're not scrubs, but Chapin made them look like Cathedral of old.
Right. So, I mean, honestly, that if you would have asked me prior to the tournament that Chapin played in, I might have still said Andrus. I thought how they responded against Cathedral. I don't know if Andrus is going to be able to handle that kind of pressure from their guard play. And if their guard play can step up, then certainly Andrus is a step above Chapin. I just don't think they will. And I think...
And that's where I think Williams comes into play, is because he does give them a third ball handler, right? If they have to. Like, he can handle the ball. They can put the ball in his hands and something good's going to happen out of it, where Cathedral didn't have that, right? But yeah, but Chapin's response after that loss to Coronado
was very impressive.
It was 61-16 with 4 minutes and 36 seconds left in the second quarter.
Yeah.
When I walked in, it was 61-16. Yes.
Ended up with 107. Yeah, and Cathedrals, they're not
a bad team.
They're not a bad team. That was surprising. Yeah, so I would go Chapin 1, I think Andrus 2, and I wouldn't be shocked if they split. I think Andrews is a little more susceptible to being upset than Chapin is, because of the lack of shooting, because their guard play isn't as elite. But yeah, I'm going to go Chapin 1, Andrews 2. After that, I think it gets very muddy. I don't think that El Paso is a clear number 3 to me. I think you can make a case for Burgess, you can make a case for El Paso, you can make a case for Canutillo in terms of the talent that they have. And I think those 3 might all split against each other. And then, Jeff has improved a lot. They're well coached. They've got some youth that was on the team last year that, got a lot of minutes. So, don't be surprised if they shock someone.
Yeah.
But I think for that 3 spot, it's going to be between those 3. Canutillo and Burgess, for example, I think most people would say Burgess or El Paso. I think Canutillo matches up really well against Burgess. They've got Ortiz, who has always done a really good job on Rubio. And, if you can stop Rubio, it's tough for Burgess outside of that. They do have some pieces.
He does have some help this year. He does have some
help.
Yeah.
So, but I think Canutillo matches up well against Burgess. Now, they don't match up well against Andrus or Chapin, but they do match up well against Burgess and El Paso, and that's why I could see them also stealing the 3 spot. But I'm gonna go Canutillo at the 3, and then at the 4 Burgess. At the 4 El Paso, I'm gonna go 4 El Paso.
You know what's scary about Burgess? It's Rubio, right? Because Rubio can give you 30.
Mm-hmm.
It could give you 40 if you mess around. And so he draws a lot of attention.
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets going and gets hot, you're in for a long day.
I'm actually going to go Burgess 4. I think that El Paso doesn't have a solution for Rubio. Canutillo does. And like you said, they do have help. It's just the question with Rubio is he engaging defensively?
Yeah.
Because he cherry picks a lot. Is he engaging defensively? Is he rebounding at the level he should? He should be averaging a double-double.
Yeah.
At his size, the way he jumps. But you always question that defensive motor. So it'll be interesting to see if he does more of that this year in his senior year.
Well, has he ever been asked to play defense? Okay, I go on.
I mean, if you want, I don't know. I think if you want to win games, there has to be some sort of pride in that.
I got you, but
I
don't think he's ever been asked to have to play defense. Like, I don't think that's been a requirement put on him per se. I think his requirement has been, we need buckets. Go get us buckets.
Yeah, I mean,
whatever you give us on defense, we'll take. As opposed to, you need to lock in on both sides.
I would say I think there would be some sort of expectation for that last year. I'd agree with you. His freshman and sophomore year, he was in there for one purpose. But last year, I think a lot of, at least feel from I got from around the city, is that there was an expectation that there was going to be a jump defensively last year, and there wasn't. And I think Burgess should have been in the conversation, and they weren't. They couldn't get stops, and he needs to be at the precipice of that. So if Burgess is going to make the playoffs this year, it's going to have to be not Rubio scoring how he usually does, but also being more of a force defensively.
Yeah.
He has the tools to do it. He has good hands. He can get a lot of steals, but does he push himself to try and get stops to be a force on the boards is going to be the question.
I think I'm going to have to change y'all's rotation up just a little bit. I'm going Chapin up front. I think Canutillo's got enough to fight with Burgess. So I'm going to go Canutillo second, and I'll put Burgess in the 3 spot.
So you saying Andrews going to finish 4th?
I think Andrus is going to go 4.
Woo! Woo! Hot take. Okay. But you know what, though? The funny thing is, you literally could see that happening.
It's a district that's kind of wide open. Even Chapin is not untouchable this year. We've seen that. I mean, Coronado beating them is a big indicator of that. Canutillo played Coronado very tight twice. I think Burgess, common opponents, played tight as well.
You know what
it's really up in the open.
The common denominator between the two losses that Chapin took in this city was size.
Yeah.
Yep. I can't remember the kid's name from Coronado, 33, killed him.
Jordan Sheffield.
Killed him inside.
Yeah.
Hayden, was it Brack?
Hayden Brack.
Killed him. They killed him. It's when they have to go up against size, they can't match up with it. They don't have anything remotely close.
I think for me, a big reason why I kind of switched up, like I said, probably a month ago, I would have said Andrews. Beginning of the season, I would have said Andrews. The game against Franklin, Chapin played a team similar to Andrews in that Andrews got good wings, good bigs. They've got Carmine. But Andrews has question marks with their guard play. Franklin is a similar constructed team, that they've got good bigs, good wings, question marks in the guard play. And I think the guard play prevailed in that matchup when Chapin beat Franklin. I think we're going to see a similar play out with Andrus and Chapin. That's why I think they'll prevail over Andrus, because their guard play is a good amount above Andrus.
So I'm actually going to have to change my
You come to my
pick,
side.
right? No.
Okay.
But here's why. Because as we were sitting there talking, I totally forgot. Chapin did something that I've been telling you that if I was coaching them, I would have done a long time ago. They started Prince. If Tevin continues that going forward, they're a whole different team with him on the floor. And I know that's saying a lot for a freshman, but he brings something to the table, a level of athleticism that they don't have when he's not on the floor. He can get to any spot he wants to on the floor. He can create for himself, his teammates, and he can finish around the cup. He's got some pogo sticks on him. I'll give him that. And so if they can, I will caveat, if they continue starting him, then I say they win the district. But if they go back and it's time to let the young buck run.
I think in general, Chapin's just also got more depth than anyone.
They definitely got more
They
depth.
have a ton of
Harrison coming off the bench. It's just keep on. They have a lot of depth.
Yeah.
What they lack is size.
Mm-hmm. And the only one that can really challenge them on that is Andrus. Mm-hmm. But it goes back to, I think the guard play at Andrus is lacking. It's very similar to how the Franklin matchup played out. That if any foul trouble from the bigs at Andrus, I mean, that's the only thing that they have in terms of competing with Chapin. But it is wide open, after that, I mean, and Andrus is not, immune from being upset from the likes of Canutillo, Burgess, El Paso. Burgess and El Paso can shoot. Canutillo's got great defending that they can take out some of the best players. Last year, Carmine only had 4 points against Ortiz, so they could stop that. I just don't think Canutillo has the bodies to stop TJ or Williams. But it is wide open. It is.
Course to the clubhouse, and everywhere in between. Skony keeps you looking sharp and feeling light on your feet. Built for comfort, performance, and everyday wear, Skony golf shoes deliver the traction you need and the versatility you want, all in a breathable, machine-washable design. Whether you're chasing birdies or brunch, these shoes move with you. Visit Skony.com and use promo code FSEN to get 15% off your order. Skony, where performance meets lifestyle.
Love coffee, but not the crash. Meet Savarista, craft coffee reimagined for balance. Every roast delivers the rich flavor you crave, with little to no caffeine, so you can stay calm, focused, and in control. Ethically sourced, small batch roasted, and designed for people who live life intentionally, one cup at a time. Visit Savarista.com and use promo code FSEN to get 25% off your order. Savarista, bold flavor, balanced energy.
OldGlory.com is the ultimate destination for officially licensed merchandise, offering over 300,000 items for music, sports, entertainment, and pop culture fans. Old Glory is your one-stop shop for iconic, high-quality merch that reflects your love for music, sports, and pop culture. Discover your perfect fan gear and save by visiting OldGlory.com today and using our exclusive discount code FSEN and get 15% off your entire order.
From the chorus to the...
Now let's go to 2-5A, which started off, I think, hot, but I don't know, man. This one's a toss-up for me. You got Horizon, El Dorado, Bel Air, Delvi, Americas, Hanks, and Parkland. They did start district play, I think it was this week, but going into the season, it was clear cut for me. It was El Dorado, right? Going into the season. But then I saw Bel Air play. Bel Air's got a really good team. Hanks, I think, is going to be a surprise. They've lost some games, but they're very young. And I think they're kind of starting to put it together. So we'll see on that. But beginning of the year, I would have easily said El Dorado. Then I saw Bel Air play. But then Bel Air lost to, was it El Dorado? Or was it Horizon?
No,
I can't remember. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was El Dorado.
I can pull that up.
I think Bel Air lost to El Dorado. And, I mean, when you start talking about guard play, El Dorado has some really good guard play. Their backcourt is arguably one of the best backcourts in the city.
Yeah, they lost to El Dorado by 2.
Yeah. But that Bel Air team's got size. They got athleticism. That's a really good team. And so for El Dorado to beat them, that's a big win for them, in my opinion. But I am going to say, then you got America sitting out there, right? Like every year.
It's the wild card.
Yeah, Coach Brooks figures out a way to maximize that roster. Mm-hmm. He gets the most out of his team. They've had a rough years thus far, but I mean, he maximizes that team, and he will take the air out of the ball if that's what it takes to win the game. Yeah. He will take the air out of the ball if that's what it takes to win the game. And so, man, I'm going to say that El Dorado and Bel Air split this district title. I think they're going to be co-champs.
I think El Dorado's got a great chance. It all depends. Again, it's all about who shows up, and who can gel at the right time. I'm gonna lean towards El Dorado to take it.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna agree. I think it's gonna be El Dorado. I think Americas is gonna be right there. Actually, I just think they're so well coached that, and they've got star power in Pichardo. I think he's one of the best scorers in El Paso. They were in a dogfight with Chapin in the Franklin tournament. They lost in overtime by 1.
It's the game I watched.
Yeah. That was a shocking result just based on some of the results that have happened earlier in the year. But there's a lot of range of outcomes. You look at America's schedule, and there's been, I think their floor can be low at times, but their ceiling can match up and be better than what their talent is. So I think that come district play, Brooks is going to have these teams ready, for their district opponents. So I have America's finishing second. I think Bel Air, I've coached against that group of boys. They're really solid. They can shoot the lights out. They have 3 guards that can shoot. They'll give you multiple threes a game if you don't defend them properly. But at least when I saw Canantillo, I don't think they were defended the right way. I think that if you defend Bel Air with just selling out for the 3, those guards haven't proven to me, at least when I've coached against them and when I've seen them play this year, can they get to the rack? Can they get to the 3rd level? And I think like Americas is going to game plan for that, game plan against those strengths. And I don't know if Bel Air is going to come out on the other side of that. So I think, Americas will match up well for that. And I think El Dorado, they've just got too much shooting. Yeah. They've got too much scoring. But Bel Air does have the pieces to upset El Dorado, to upset Americas. But I think Americas is going to be a tougher task because Brooks will have that game planned, how you should defend Bel Air. A lot of teams are just not defending them properly, in my opinion, because they have great shooting. But I have yet to see those guards consistently get in the paint and not look to kick out, get into that 3rd level and finishing against some height.
Yeah.
So, I'll have America second, Bel Air 3rd, and then Hanks 4th. I think Hanks is really well coached. They've just lost a lot, some transfers as well. But I think coach is going to have them compete, and I think they'll finish 4th.
Who you got?
I told you. I said I think El Dorado and Bel Air split the championship. This is one of them. This is a tough one. This is probably the most balanced district from top to bottom on the boys' side. Them in 1-5A. But then we get 1-6A, and we'll close this out. We got Montwood, Eastlake, Franklin, Eastwood, Pebble Hill, Socorro, and Coronado. Now, up until
It's a tough one.
about 2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago. Okay.
I would have easily said this was Eastlake's district to lose.
Yeah.
I would have even said that even yesterday, now it's maybe Franklin's district to lose. But I gotta tell you, man, Montwood's guard play is impressive. But Montwood's guard play is impressive, but Franklin's size is impressive, man.
I think Franklin's a problem matchup wise.
They are, but we kind of had this conversation before we came on air. My issue with Franklin is that I don't think their guard play can consistently play well enough to win the district. Because they play off of sheer emotions, right? I don't know if they can get up like that for every game to make the impact they're going to need to make. And so that's my only concern and my biggest reluctancy with Franklin is that their guard play, right? But, man, Montwood, their guard play is phenomenal. And then you can't throw out Eastwood.
No, you certainly can't.
You cannot throw out Eastwood because Coach Morales is going to have them ready. Their guard play is really good.
Consistent.
And so I think it's going to come down to those 4 teams. And I think they're going to beat each other. They're going to beat up on each other. So you're talking 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 games. The district winner might be 8-4. The district winner might be 8-4.
When it comes to your safety, good enough doesn't cut it. That's why you need the best work gloves. Bare knuckles, gloves for any job, anywhere.
Let's go! Let's motocross! Let's go to the moon!
for the first time.
No thanks. I drink Aspire healthy energy drinks. Just half the caffeine of those other drinks. So they're perfect for life's everyday, unextreme moments. Moments like joining that meeting that should have been an email. Hi, Susan. Getting the motivation to go on a walk. And honestly, just staying up past 8 p.m. Aspire energy drinks also have 0 sugar, 0 calories, and are made with natural caffeine from green tea, which means no crashes, no jitters, and no anxiety.
No one cares about your muscles.
Half the caffeine is still packed with all the flavor, with choices like mixed berry, strawberry watermelon, raspberry acai, and more.
This is good. And chill.
Life is intense enough. Drink the energy drink designed with real life and moderation in mind. Aspire energy drinks. Refreshingly unextreme energy.
It's a tough district to handicap. I think you could make the case for 5 teams that could win that district. Coronado is also, that win over Chapin, very impressive. I'm not sure if any of the other ones would have been able to pull that off, maybe, but maybe Mount would.
I think the problem you're going to find out with Coronado is that everybody else can match them for size-wise.
Yeah. It's tough. I'm going to go Eastlake. I think Eastlake has the most talent. In terms of their guard play, I think is a lot steadier than Franklin. I think the size, they can match the size of Franklin with Quigley, and I think it's Martinez the other. He's 6'4", 6'5" as well. I think they can match the size, and their guard play is better. And I think they're playing hard for the situation going on over there. So yeah, I think I've got Eastlake 1, Franklin 2, and that's a pretty clear 1 and 2 for me, because I think Franklin's very talented. You've got Hayden Brack. That's a matchup problem, because he moves like a guard, but he's 6'6".
Not only moves like a guard, that boy shoots like
a guard too.
I think he's one of the best shooters, if not the best shooter in El Paso. When he gets hot, everything's going in. So, but we've talked about Franklin, their guard play.
Okay, so, and that's why I say guard play, right? Because of that, right? The way he can shoot. And then you got, is it Guyton inside?
Santiago Guyton.
The guards aren't forcing the ball to them.
Yeah.
I get it, but when you got 2 6'6" dudes like that, 5'9", you got to give up the rock. Yeah. You got to figure out a way to get the ball in their hand.
Eastlake, we saw them against Ganatillo when on the stream. They're a team that's going to put constant pressure as well. And I don't know about Franklin's guard play. I think Tanner Jones is a really solid guard. After that, it gets a little bit, there's a lot of question marks. Guys that haven't been on varsity or haven't gotten meaningful minutes, and really Jones is the only one that got meaningful minutes last year. And he's certainly someone that can steady the ship, but I don't know if it's enough. And that's what happened with Chapin, is Gaitan got in foul trouble, and there was no one to dominate the game because they were just kind of doubling Brack, putting all the focus on Brack. So if either of those guys get in foul trouble, it's tough. And you can say that for any team, right? Like if Quigley were to get in foul trouble for Eastlake. But
they're in trouble.
Yeah, right. But the guard play, we saw it with Eastlake where Quigley would be out of the game and their guard play would be able to produce scoring. And Franklin, really, it's only Tanner Jones, where I think Eastlake has more options to produce outside of their big guys. So that's, to me, is the difference there. After that, I think you can make a case for all 3 teams. I think I would probably go Montwood at that 3rd spot. They've got good size as well, and their bigs can shoot also, and their guard play is really solid. So I think they'll finish at the 3 spot. I just think that their star power doesn't match Franklin's or Eastlake's. That's the difference for me. And at the 4th spot, I think Coronado is right there. Eastwood's always going to be there. I kind of just lean Coronado. I think that I think their guard play is going to be They're just a scrappy team, man, and they're well coached. I think that offense isn't a problem for them, and I think sometimes Eastwood, offensively, they can get in dry spells. They play really slow as it is. They've always been that way. But when they need a three, they need a shot. Are they going to be able to get one? Where I think Coronado can get one from Lopez or from a couple of the guards that can shoot off the ball. So I'm going to go Coronado 4, but I think Eastwood's going to be right there.
I'm going to lean towards, I think it's Franklin's to lose. I think they just got to be consistent. If they're consistent, I think it's theirs to lose.
It's tough, man, because I think like there's 5 teams that are definitely worthy. They're playoff teams, but one's going to be left out because I mean we've seen Coronado. They're coming off a win over Chapin. It's a big win. Chapin will likely be 1 or 2 in their district, and we might be having a conversation where Coronado's on the outside looking in.
I think they will be. And you kind of saw when they played Franklin in the tournament for the championship game, right? It was almost like the moment was too big for them. And that's a big rivalry game. Like whenever those two play, the gym's going to be almost packed, right? I just think that, I don't know, I don't think that they're ready to go over that hump yet. I think they may be a year away.
Coronado?
Yeah, I think Coronado may be a year away from really putting a mark on the district. But, yeah, I think Franklin and East Lake, in my opinion, are
I wouldn't be surprised if Coronado upsets Montwood because they've got one of the best guards in the district in R.J. Lopez.
Yeah.
And he could carry a game over Montwood's guard play. I think the guard play for Eastwood is about the same with Falk Ramirez.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Montwood drops off from that 3rd to 4th or even possibly misses the playoffs. I think they have too much talent to miss the playoffs. But, I mean, Coronado and Eastwood can give them problems as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's just tough. I mean, I think all 5 of these teams are good enough to be playoff teams. You almost wish you could move them around into one of the lesser districts, but
you know, any given Tuesday or Friday, one of them could beat the other one, for sure.
Even at the top, right? We talked about Eastlake and Franklin. That's kind of been the consensus.
Yeah.
Those teams can lose to a Montwood or Coronado or an Eastwood.
I mean,
Eastwood was in a dogfight with Franklin on Friday. It was a 3-point game. You know. So
I mean, think about it. El Paso High gave Eastlake a dogfight.
Yeah.
They shot the mess out of the 3 on that game. So I mean, all it takes is getting hot, and anything can happen. But
yeah, Montwood was in a dogfight with Burgess.
Yeah.
They only beat them by 3. So there's been some interesting result. Burgess was also in a dogfight with Coronado. So I think there's a wide range of outcomes for this district, but I think 1 and 2 is going to be Eastlake and Franklin. But it'll be interesting.
For sure.
There's a lot of parity in that district and a lot of talent.
Definitely. Well, folks, I know this was long, but I think it was something that was well overdue. I think it was something that we enjoyed. I know I did. Talk some hoops. And so maybe we'll do this again and shorten it down, get it to about 30 minutes. But we want to go through each district and kind of.
Yeah, it's not we're doing it the first time. The next time it'll be kind of an overview. You guys know where we stand on things, so
yeah,
you know.
But no, this has been another episode of Borderland Sports Report. We thank you guys. Be blessed. Have a good weekend. We're out.
Thank you guys.
Thank you.
When the lights go out and the noise fades low, still stories left that the numbers don't show. Every grind, every town, every mile we roam. Borderland voices, this is home. No headlines missed, no moment too small. From the rise to fall, we cover it all. If it moves the game, then you know we're there. Truth in the word, respect in the air. This is more than a score, more than a play. Borderland Sports Report, every day.